And so yours truly, who's not a particularly large individual, has been beamed by backpacks.
So she's putting on her goggles and a bowler hat. She checks her pocket watch, adjusts her rocket back. She laces up her boots and puts her makeup on. She grabs her leather coat and her Tesla gun. Well, she used to be a goth kid, now she's a...
Well, hello there. I'm Gail Carriger.
And I'm Piper J. Drake.
And you're listening to 20-Minute Delay,
a podcast about travel.
Because travel never goes how you expect.
Ever. Okay.
So,
today we're talking about backpacks, luggage backpacks.
Oh, such a contentious topic.
Yes.
We are going to get into it with backpacks. But first, we're going to talk about a trip. Where have you been this week, Piper?
Where have you been? We were there together.
Yes, this is exciting. We're going to shake it up a little bit because we usually talk about flying. We're going to talk about a road trip.
Yes, and my unfortunate response to said road trip.
So, one of the things that we did when Piper was out visiting was we took a road trip out to the coast of California, which is off of Highway 1, and that's where I grew up, out in the middle of nowhere. And
it was beautiful.
It was gorgeous out there. We had a really good time. We tried to see a beached whale, unsuccessfully, as it turned out. But
we got pictures of the blue whale.
But Piper had a bit of some troubles with cars, so we're gonna maybe talk a little bit about what to do to keep yourself from a dodgy tummy when you are driving. So you want to
or just realize that you can do all those things and still end up with a dodgy tummy.
So one of the things that I always keep in a car for this exact reason is a spare towel. Maybe it's a little bit Douglas Adamsy. Always carry your towel, but we always have that. And again, those trusty handy dandy wet ones, the antibacterial wet ones, have those to hand. And then, of course, some plastic bags, which was where we went wrong. We didn't have a plastic bag.
Yes.
In the car. It turns out, thank you, Piper, we didn't ever really need it. We managed to always pull over. But that's something we're going to start stashing in the glove compartment for future use. Hopefully not, yes. But just in case.
In my case, I always have a bit of something to drink, like water, preferably ginger ale or even just sparkling water, something with bubbles in it, to keep me refreshed and take little sips of, especially when my stomach's feeling queasy. I tend to have ginger chews with me because natural ginger can really help with your stomach. And in this case, because we knew that the road was very twisty and windy, you were really good about warning me about that. I took a child's dosage of Dramamine. So I had taken Dramamine before we started the car trip, and I still got nailed with the motion sickness.
It was rough.
Yeah.
It is a really rough road. I always warn people about it. There's not always much you can do about it. You just have to pull over sometimes. But there it is. That was our most recent travel. Not perhaps the best travel story.
The in between the driving parts was beautiful, right? The stops were beautiful. It smelled lovely of sage, which is great because, I was having a moment of distress, and you have to take in big, deep, lungfuls of air to try to clear your head and have the nausea subside. And it smelled beautiful, those woods.
Yeah, for those people who are familiar with the area, we were driving through Samuel P. Taylor State Park, which has a lot of wild sage and a lot of wild cooking bay, and of course pine and the redwoods. And all of those trees and bushes just smell delicious. There's also horsehair, kind of a wild licorice scent, and it's a really beautiful part of the world. It is a very unique kind of woods, the redwoods area. So I recommend it if you want to do some light camping with some great trails and bicycle riding. The Samuel P. Taylor Campground. It's real small, but it's lovely, and it gives you this wonderful kind of take on this particular kind of forest that is a real Northern California kind of tree forest. So Anyway, so now we're going to move on to our very exciting and contentious main topic, which is
dun, dun, dun. The backpack Sasquatch.
The backpack Sasquatch. So this is another me-ism. This is because, in my personal experience, the type of gentleman to travel with a backpack is often on the larger end of the spectrum and entirely spatially unaware, shall we say. And so yours truly, who's not a particularly large individual, has been beamed by backpacks pretty much every time she's flown because my head is always exactly in the wrong place in a seat so that a larger dude is going to swing around to take that backpack off his back and put it in the overhead, and he is going to hit me in the head many, many times. And this has resulted in me absolutely hating backpacks. I think they are the worst thing to travel with because I've been on the receiving end too many times. I never travel or I never fly or go by train or anything like that with a backpack. I always use a tote. And so Piper, on the other hand, is a backpack
I
aficionado.
wear a backpack.
So she's now going to have to defend the backpack to me.
Well, I will cede a certain amount of ground. And I have found that this hits both genders, right? Even dogs, but both genders in the backpack arena. Like, a lot of people wear these big, big backpacks and they're not aware of their space and they swing around with it. So I've gotten sideswiped with backpacks by ladies of all ages, men, and occasionally a service dog running by wearing his backpack. And, so I do feel your pain. And I used to wear one of those, literally, I got this in the early 90s, laptop backpacks that could probably carry my weight. I could pack for 5 days in it and have my laptop on it. It was this huge backpack. And I realized I was giving myself back problems. Like, it gave me so much space to pack that it was ridiculous. I was carrying things with me that I seriously didn't ever need.
Yeah.
So I trimmed down to a very sleek, very small, very portable Toomey backpack. Now, I'm very brand loyal. So once I latch onto a brand that I like, and right now it's Toomey, just because of the durability of the fabric and the clever ways that they've placed the pockets and designed the bag. And it's very, very small. Literally, it can only fit a small laptop, not your larger 17 or 18-inch laptops. Like, this is very much for the 13 and 15-inch laptops. And it's a small laptop backpack that can still fit just my bare necessities and enough snacks and run with it, right? And if I really was pressed, I could do an overnight. And
so
the running, because of connections.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
You got to be able to run. I have some crazy epic stories of running. Now, I always travel with some kind of rolly, even if it's only a tiny underseat rolly, because I don't want to be carrying anything once I hit the ground. I want that tote off my shoulder and onto the rolly. In fact, it usually happens on the jetway. But I have run with a rolly, and it's not great. Yep. But it's not fun. Possible. It's not fun, but it is possible. So what I want to know about your backpack, this Toomey, is, so this is your under seat thing, this backpack. This is the thing that goes under the seat in front of you?
Yep, it can absolutely slide under the seat in front of me. Or if you've ever seen the overheads where they have like most of the space taken up by emergency equipment.
Oh, yeah.
And so bags really can't fit up there. My Toomey's small enough to fit up there.
Or those little puddle jumpers where the overhead is like almost open, like on a bus or something. So it'll fit into one of those. My tote will usually fit into one of those, but my carry-on rolly never will. So those are some backpack advantages, and I really do get the idea that both your arms are free, and that's super exciting. Are you ever worried about security with a backpack? With that it's like there behind you, and you can't really keep your eye on it when you're walking through, I don't know, like a downtown city center or something?
If I'm not most downtown city centers, what I have a problem with is when you're in a crowded tourist spot where people are pressed up against you. That's when I worry, and I can swing it around and wear it in front because it's that small. Like literally, I can just swing it around and wear it in front of me instead.
Kind of hug your arms
and I
around
usually
it.
Exactly. It's like it's smaller than a teddy bear. I can hug my arms around it and that's fine. And I've only ever really been felt compelled to do that when I'm in a touristy place that's so pressed together, people are constantly brushing past you.
Yeah, like on a subway or something like that.
Exactly.
Yeah, I can see that being a concerning locale. When I was first traveling extensively in Italy, I would travel with a backpack back then because I was a student, and pickpocketing was a real serious issue. I don't know if it still is. It's been a long time since I've been back, but it's
a major problem in Thailand.
Yeah, I
major
almost
problem
always
in Thailand.
just wore it front facing kind of automatically. I mean, I looked like a dork, but I didn't get anything lifted. But that's always been one of my security concerns with the backpack. Although, when you're wearing a purse or a tote, someone can come along and slit the bottom, or they can just, yank it off of your shoulder. So it's no more or less secure, I suppose.
And the other thing is, where do you stash your stuff in said backpack? The Tumi backpack has a lot of secret pouches and zippered pouches and stuff like that make it much harder. Like, you have to know exactly where you're looking for your item. And so my wallet usually isn't even in my backpack. I keep that on my person. But other items of value, let's say I'm carrying jewelry with me or something like that, they go on an inside pouch of an inside zipper that's halfway down. So you'd have to zip it open, get past my snacks, get past my emergency wipes, because I am also a believer in having emergency wipes with you, right? And slide your hand down there and know where the zipper is, unzip that, and then get into that valuables pouch to get like whatever that backup valuable is you're after.
Yeah.
Like, really, what are they going to come out with but a couple of olives and like a wipe it if they try to open up just the top part of my zipper?
Yeah.
Maybe a charge cord.
So Piper here is the backpack devotee. I don't know that you've necessarily sold me on the backpack. When we come around to talking about totes, we'll see how I can do on the tote. I have a pretty interesting pick.
The musculature, the muscle strain on the shoulders. It's even weight.
Yeah,
even weight on your
I bet I'm
shoulders.
totally skewed because but my spine is a little crooked because I sure do tend to carry that tote on just one shoulder.
Which is not good for you.
Yeah, but I remember, man, when I was wearing a backpack regularly, I would get those tension headaches from the weight of the backpack kind of pulling my neck and stuff. So, I'm sure there are special ones out there, but.
Well, it's also the size, right? Like, I deliberately picked a small one to limit myself on weight. Like, I'm not going to overpack that and end up with 50 pounds on my back.
Yeah, it's true.
Granted, I sit in the exit row, so technically I should be able to carry 50 pounds, but I don't need to do it by choice.
No, you don't have to do it. All right. Well, that'll conclude our main topic of discussion for the day. And now let's move on to our gadget picks. Dun,
yes.
Dun, dun.
What is your gadget?
Well, actually, strangely enough, my gadget pick is going to be a backpack. After all of my argument against the backpack, there is a backpack I do travel with, and that is the fabulous and kind of recently on the scene collapsible backpack. And these are based on the same kind of principles as nylon backpacks are.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, not nylon backpacks, nylon collapsible totes for your shopping, So they're kind of a heavy duty fabric, but it's really thin and lightweight, and they roll up pretty small, but they're essentially a backpack. And the reason that I like to travel with one of these, I just roll it up as I can use it for like a dirty laundry bag or something like that on the go. But also when I'm traveling for pleasure, and I think there might be hiking or something, I like to have essentially what amounts to a little day pack along with me. And so that's when I bring this backpack. Or if there's a chance, because I'm staying somewhere for a longer period of time and I want to go get groceries. So a lot of places now you have to bring your own grocery bag. This backpack will double up for that, and I can carry some food back to the Airbnb with me or whatever. So that is my pick. You can find them all over the place. I have one in particular. I have a Jansport, and we'll post a link in the show notes to some of the ones that I've had some luck with and that are highly recommended. But they're pretty cheap. They're usually only about, they're under $20 these days. They're little throwaway ones, so you don't have to get something super fancy. How about you, Piper?
But
what's yours?
I have a link to a super fancy backpack. This is actually the Tumi backpack that I wear. that I use in my travels every day, and it's the Knox backpack. It is on the pricey side, people, so please just realize that this is the pricey version, but I have found that it has lasted me. It's super durable. The fabric of the backpack is supposed to be ballistic nylon, so it does not suffer a lot of the scratching and the pulling and the wear and tear of being shoved under seats as much. And it's really been very comfortable for me. And as I said, it's a small size, so it's forced me to keep my load light. So I have that linked for the show notes. I actually quite love Tumi, but it is very, very pricey. It is one of the brands that's kind of painful.
Is an important question for you, Piper. Is it cute?
Yes. It's adorable. It is not crazy pants oversized. It looks great on me. And Matthew J. Drake has an orange one of the same style.
So it comes in different colors.
It comes in different colors, and it looks as good on a man as it does on a female. So it suits quite a lot of builds.
Oh,
and,
man.
That's important from a stylish standpoint. And I've actually had people call me out at airports going, "Oh, Tumi, great choice." The brand has a following.
It does. It does. You're not the first one I've heard talk about this. I think it was Jackie Cation of the Jackie and Laurie podcast, who's a stand-up comic who travels a lot. I believe she was singing the praises of Tumi recently, although I think she has Rolly luggage by them. So it's a name I've heard. I am unbelievably picky about the shape and arrangement of my luggage. And so they have never satisfied my peculiar set of quirks in terms of pocket placement and color of the interior versus the exterior. So I have never, for example, I demand that my luggage have a light colored interior so I can see my stuff. And to me, so far as I can tell, hasn't done that. But I'm keeping my eye on them because, yeah, they are super, super popular.
I have a tendency to reach into my bag blind. So
we are so going to talk about that because I think that you, like me, are you pick your kit containers by texture, so that you can do that.
So that'll be a
but
thing.
that is a travel hack that everybody should know about, and we're going to talk about that in depth in a future episode. So find us again next time, and until then, those were our gadget picks, and
thanks to producer Matt for putting together this podcast.
And thanks to John Emilio, who loaned us the music from his song, Steampunk Girl, and happy travels, everybody.
Until next time.
So she's putting on her goggles and a bowler hat. She checks her pocket watch and just to rock it back. She laces up her boots and puts her makeup on. She grabs her leather coat and a Tesla gun. Used to be a goth kid, but now she's a steampunk. She used to be a goth kid, but now she's a steampunk. She used to be a goth kid, but now she's a steampunk.